Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to introduce Allie Henley.
Hello, welcome, and happy Friday. We're happy to have you all here today. I hope you enjoy the concert, and I think we should enjoy the music, and maybe let's turn off our cell phones and enjoy the night. Thank you.
Thank you, Allie. Last Sunday, Allie gave such a fantastic message in parables. Thank you, Allie. One of my favorite ministers here. Welcome to Coffeehouse. It feels so good to have people back. I remember I was reflecting today on the last Coffeehouse. Was anybody here for Jason Gray? We didn't know what was going to happen, did we? After that COVID hit. But I just am so happy to have you all here. I wanted everybody to know that we have these inspires that tell everything that's going on in the church. Pick one up on your way out and take a look at some of the great things that are happening here at Wayzata Community Church. I wanted to open, I have this reading from Anne Lamont, and it kind of sums up some of the feelings that I think all of us are feeling as we begin to start to live through COVID. This year, I have our collective condition on my heart. Which is existential exhaustion, disbelief, and disorientation. I keep thinking bitterly that I am just done, like an overcooked rump roast, just done. I have been an excellent sport for nearly 2 years. Think Dinah Shore with dreadlocks. Grace, which always bats last, saw me pretty much through, mostly unscathed relative to most people, although a few scathes have come up recently. But the good sportsmanship was based on this all coming to an end at some point, and right now, I'm not convinced that it will. It's like being in a whiteout, where you can't easily tell which end is up, or down, or sideways. So now what? We remember to remember. And that's the answer. We remember that we're alive. We remember the old tried and true things that have always blessed us. Gather if we can. Pay attention to others. Get outside even if it's cold. Send money to the poor. We remember to give thanks that after so much has been taken for us, so many blessings remain, like a long, hot shower. Some days, if I'm in my right mind, that's almost all I need. We say thanks over and over for everything that still works, all that we still love, views that still blow us away. Gratitude is the fountain of youth. It's soul food, chicken and waffles, peach cobbler. It's magnetized. We remember that spring will soon be here, proving every year as it does that life is stronger than death. We remember to sing and dance. Alone is just fine. Wheelchairs are fabulous. Music is about as physical as it gets. Your essential rhythm is your heartbeat. Your essential sound, your breath. We're walking temples of noise. And when you add tender hearts to this mix, it somehow lets us meet in places where you wouldn't get to any other way. Meet yourself there. That's why we're here. Thank you. So I just wanted to say a quick word. Next week, we have Michael Monroe here, and it's going to be fabulous. He's going to have Chris Jensen playing with him, and they've played here many, many times before. And Mark Anderson's on percussion. We have a special opening planned that's going to be magnificent. So be here if you can. Tell your friends. And then I want to give a special shout out to Michael Shines, who unfortunately tested positive for COVID. But never fear, Charlie Roth is here. And Charlie's been here. This is his third time for this particular Coffeehouse show. I remember the first time that I met Charlie. I don't know if you remember the first words you spoke to me. He said, "I know you." Do you remember that? It was in the parking lot. It's in the parking lot, and I don't know if he was trying to sell me something, but it was a CD. But anyway, it kind of sums it up about Charlie when he comes on stage. You feel like you know him. It's in the words of the songs that he writes. It's in the heart which he sings them. And I'm just so happy to introduce you to Charlie Roth. And he's going to put on a good show for us tonight. Come on up here, Charlie. And while he's coming up, I'm just going to say, if you have any questions about the church, anybody that's wearing a badge, if you want to know more about Waizetto Community Church, just check with any of us and we'll tell you about this fabulous place. Thank you very much. Charlie, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Yes, the first time I met John, I was playing with Michael Shines and the 318 in Excelsior, and since then I've played here 3 times, and I played in his living room once. And it was like, that's what I like to do. I like to play, I'm a guy that has made his living as a musician my whole entire life, and pretty much can play a bar room. It doesn't matter, I mean, I love playing my guitar, so. But it's better because I'm a storytelling songwriter that I do storytelling songs, and I recorded a bunch of them. And in a bar, it's really tough because people aren't really listening. They're just talking to their friends, which is okay, as long as the check clears. And I'm going to start off with a song off my last CD this is called Yankee Dime. It was written by my friend Efren White, who's from Arkansas. He lives in Nashville, Tennessee now. She said she'd give me a Yankee dime. I'd just love her one good time. We were young and wild and free. I must admit she tempted me. On my other arm there stood another girl so pure and good. So I turned down that Yankee dime. Take the good one and make her mine. Now you might think the best of me, thinking that I'd do again the same thing that I did back then. Sometimes in my wandering mind, I still want that Yankee Dime. Oh, and if I had that chance today, only God knows what I'd say. Now there's two sides to every tale. There's a heaven, there's a hell. And the choices that a man might make might lead him straight to his fate. Can't say I'm not satisfied. If I said I was, I would have lied. There's always something to be missed. What confounds a man, I guess. Yeah. She said she'd give me a Yankee Dime. I just love her one good time. Thank you. What do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no idea. Yep, I'm from Minnesota. I got my son here. He lives around here and he works in a restaurant as a chef. And he's here after work, but he's worked a 14-hour shift. And now I asked him to sell CDs for me. So there, my son Jonah back there. It was the start of 2019, and we were looking at a full year of just the best year that we ever had as the band Ring of Kerry, which I'd love to bring you in this space after things clear out, maybe. But anyway. We just got back from Scotland because we were looking at, I bought plane tickets for Jonah and I, and then another tour that I had to Germany, and then COVID hit, and I left it all on my credit card, all my work went away. It was like, whoops. But I had to use this plane ticket, so we went to Scotland. And we were one among the first Americans to come back to the UK, and it wasn't easy to get through the airports, and I wouldn't advise going, but we did anyway, and we had a great time. And I'm going to sing a song for Jonah because this is one and I talk about my friend Michael Shines. I did this song at his house here this summer, and he doesn't remember Don McLean, He asked me if I wrote Vincent. And I went, yeah, I did. It's for my son, Jonah. Starry, starry night. Paint your palette blue and gray.
Look out on a summer day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hill. Sketch the trees and the daffodil. Catch the breeze in the winter chills, in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They did not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly blaze, swirling clouds and violet haze, reflecting Vincent's eyes, shine blue, colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They did not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Oh, they could not love you, still your love was true. And when no hope was left in sight, on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night, portraits hung in empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like strangers that you've met. The ragged man in the ragged clothes, a silver thorn, a bloody rose, lies crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I think I know what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They did not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will.
You want to hear a ghost story? Yeah. This is these are all covers so far. I do write songs. I just get what I call them is a song crush. You know, I just walk along and then I hear one. Oh, and I'd rather play those for you, and then I have to be goaded into playing my own songs. You know, once in a while, because I'm just so excited about these other ones. You know. But I'm going to share this one as I've been working on it for years. And I met the guy that co-wrote it with Guy Clark. Any Guy Clark fans? Okay, good. Guy Clark, the Texas legend, he died. He was referred to as a Rembrandt of lyrics and country songwriters, and just a true legend of Americana music. And his guitar player, Verlin Thompson, salvaged this song out of his guitar case, and they wrote it at a songwriters retreat. So they get together and you learn how to write songs from the great Guy Clark, and Verlin is also a Nashville songwriter. Guy forgot all about it, but Verlin took it out of his case, put these chords to it, and of course, being a virtuoso guitar player, which I am not, it's about a haunted guitar. I'm going to try my best. I passed by a pawn shop on the older part of town. Something caught my eye. So I stopped and I turned around and I went inside, and there I spied in the middle of it all. It was a beat up old guitar hanging on the wall. Hey, what do you want for that piece of junk? I asked that old man. He just smiled and he took it down. He put it in my hand. He said, "Tell me what it's worth. You're the one that wants it. Go on, tune it up, play a song, and let's just see what haunts it." So I hit a couple of chords in my old country way of strumming. Then my fingers turned to lightning. I never seen it coming. It was like I always knew it. I just couldn't remember where I'd learned it. But it wasn't nothing but the truth, so I just reared back and burned it. Well, I lost all track of time. There was nothing I couldn't pick. Up and down that neck, I never missed a lick. The guitar almost played itself, and there was nothing I couldn't do. Why, it was getting hard to tell just who was playing who. When I finally put it down, I was scared half to death. My hands is shaking. My shirt was soaking wet. And that old man, he finally stood up. He said, "Where the hell have you been? We've been waiting all these years for you to stumble in." And he got down an old dusty case. He said, "Go on, pack it up. You don't owe me nothing." And when he he said good luck, there was something spooky in his voice. There was something strange in his face. When he shut that lid, my name was on the case. Ooh. All right. I want to just play one set, just because it's a kind of a blustery night, and I'll be out there in the back if anybody wants to support the gasoline for the Tahoe. I wrecked my car. It's like I had this nice little Mitsubishi, and some girl was trying to pass a car on an old road, icy road, and she couldn't stop. She was out of control, and boom, there I was in the ditch. And now I'm driving a Chevy Tahoe 2002. Took it up to Grand Marais here last week, then over to Hibbing. Cost me like $200 in gas. I drove all the way to Grand Marais for a $200 gig. I said, what am I doing? I tried to talk the guy out of it, actually. Anyway, here's a song I wrote. I do have this same, when it's down in Moccasin Creek Festival, it's in Effingham, Illinois. And I met this girl down there who was about 12, and her dad was a friend of mine and played guitar, looked a lot like Neil Young, her dad. She was running in a pack with other children. Their faces were all painted up with rainbows and stuff. And I just realized these kids are having a time of their lives, you know, just running wild. It's a pack of wild dogs, you know. And he instructed his kids to say, if you see Charlie, go give him a hug. There was 3 of them. There's 2 girls, came running up to me, gave me a hug, ran off. And then here comes the boy. My dad said I was supposed to give you a hug. Who's your dad? Anyway, I asked the one girl what her name was. She said her name was Serenity. That she was named after a prayer. I said, I'm going to tell you the truth. That prayer saved my dad twice. So, for me, it's been 6 years since I had any drink. And I think the prayers, it's not just, you know, it's wisdom, really, except the things you can't change. That's the hardest part of that prayer, because how do you know you can't change it? Got to keep trying, right, John? So this is from my last CD, and it's called, I recorded it down in Texas with a bunch of hot shots on there, famous Texan musicians. They're not here tonight. Rainbow-faced, painted child, having fun in the summer sun, running wild. She's got her mother's grace, her father's eyes, a great big chocolate smile for a little while. Her daddy is a good man, he's a friend of mine, living one paycheck away from a cardboard sign. There's some things in his life he can't change, life in a bottle
gets a little strange. And I asked her what her name is, and she said Serenity. And her daddy named her after a prayer. Well, they prayed that prayer this morning, made their camp at the music fair. I said, Serenity, my, that sure is a pretty name. So if you're walking on the shady side of a river of grief and tears you just can't hide from, and if the game of life has kicked your ass, your only comfort you find is over ice cubes in a glass, and you just might be the most negative person in the room, 'cause all you know is loneliness and gloom. And you think you might be talking bad about you, so you start talking smack about them too. Now you're cursing at color, 'cause all you see is darkness in your world. Well, I hope you meet a rainbow-faced, painted little girl. If you ask her what her name is, then she said Serenity. And if her daddy named her after a prayer, if he prayed that prayer this morning and made their camp at the music fair. If you meet Serenity, please say hello for me. I think Serenity sure is a pretty name. My granddaughter just turned 16. She's driving now, and she has a job, and I wrote a song about her when she was 3, and she just talked my ears off, a little chatterbox, you know, and then, well, one of the things she liked to do, she's like, it's so cool, and I know that John said he's going to be a grandfather pretty soon, right? Rick Graff did. Anyway, that's the best. My son's here, and I'll tell you that it's a lot better being a grandfather than it is a dad, because when you're a dad, you have to be the heavy all the time, you know. And when you get a granddaughter, you know, they go home. You can sit and spend the day with them. And one of the things we did was, the dandelions were kind of seeding in the lawn, and she'd grab one, and I showed how to blow the seeds off of it, and that became a game, you know. And then we watched some bugs. Now I realized this is the first time she's ever seen any of this stuff, and isn't it cool to watch the world through a child's eyes? And now I'll say, Morgan, how was school? Well, okay. Do you like your teachers? Oh yeah, a little bit, yeah. So she's like one, you know, I can't get her to talk to me at all. Hope she grows out of it. But anyway, this is Grandpa's little girl. Off an album I put out in 2010 called Broken Ground. This album got me to Europe, and since I just got back from my 9th tour,
of UK and Holland. I went to the, I couldn't believe that I actually got to do all that stuff. That sure is a pretty flower. Not half as pretty as your smile. I wonder why they call them weeds. We could blow away those seeds, watch them on the wind a while. Hey, what's that? Looks like you found a feather. I bet it's from a baby bird. Here's a little song we sing together. It's the sweetest one these ears have ever heard. Grandpa's little girl, Grandpa's little girl, with her hand around my finger, she's showing me the wonders of her world. I bet you never seen a spider. There's a daddy long legs in the tree. He's walking on his web. He's jumping on his bed. It's like he's got a little trampoline. We can watch the ants out in the sandbox. I could push you on a swing made from a roping tire. You say let's go higher. That's when you start giggling. Grandpa's little girl, Grandpa's little girl, with her hand around my finger, she's wrapping me around her little finger. She's showing me the wonders of her world. Well, he sure is a lucky man. You still have that pretty smile, and the church is full of flowers, and I recall those hours as I watch you walking down the aisle. You were Grandpa's little girl, Grandpa's little girl, with your hand around your finger, wrapping me around your little finger. You'll put a gold band around your finger, and you wander off to his world. Thank you. All right. Well, I got a request to do something. I was from John Estrom. He said, "Remember when you were at the 318? You played some sing-along stuff, as there's a duet that I was trying to get Michael to sing the high part, and once again, it was too old of a song for him. But I want you to try it. Will you do that for me, especially you young pickers out there? I know you guys are guitar players. right? No. Who's the guitar player? Anybody? Okay, I'm wrong then. Must have been. Huh. That's my son. He plays with it. All right. But this is off the list. I don't know.
Never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. There's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby, baby. Baby, I know it. You've lost that love feeling. Whoa, that love feeling. You've lost that loving feeling that's gone, gone, gone. Whoa. There's no wanting to look in your eyes when I reach for you. Girl, you're starting to criticize little things I do. You're trying hard not to show it, baby. Baby, baby, I know it. You lost that love feeling. Whoa, that love feeling. You've lost that loving feeling. That's gone, gone, gone. Whoa. What-a-dum. That's your part. Baby, baby, I will get down on my knees for you. This is your part. Get down on my knees. See, that's why I needed Mike. If you would only love me like you used to do. Love me. We had a love you don't find every day. Yeah, a love you don't find. So don't let it slip away. Now everybody help out. I said, baby, baby, begging you please, please, I need your love. I need your love. So bring it on back. Yeah. Bring back that loving feeling. Oh, that loving feeling. Bring back that loving feeling that's gone, gone. And I can't go on. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Thank you. I got campfire songs. I'm going to do a kind of, I always figured Grandpa's Little Girl came from a place in my heart. It's a sensitive song about a little girl, and then I got this other evil thing. And it's just like I have a sense of humor that's kind of warped. But I write songs in the traditions of folk and
blues and country. And I kind of draw from all the different things. And I grew up playing in the band, you know, and all the influences when you're young, you know, like 14, I discovered John Prine. And I went, John Prine was my spirit animal, you know, and he died. He was one of the first of my heroes to die of the COVID-19, you know. It's like, but he gave me a lot, you know, when you're 14 and you get your guitar and all of a sudden you find this person that writes 3-chord songs that anybody can play, but it's all about the lyrics, you know, how the storytelling. And my young mind just went, oh, that's it, you know. So, I'm going to play a song it has John Prine in it that I wrote because a year ago I lost my best friend, Kurt, and we started playing guitars. But that wasn't that was 14, and we got our guitars. But before that, it was go-karts, and we actually made guitars when we were 10, you know, out of plywood, and we'd put on like Beatles records and jump around. And I was trying to figure out how to stand just exactly like George Harrison, you know, because I like the way he stood, you know, with his sort of little pigeon-toed, you know. Man, that's cool. But this is a Kurt song called Going Fast, and it might remind you of your best friend. And, you know, when you were growing up. My best friend stayed with me until he was 64. You know, we lived in the same town, and he followed me everywhere. He was in my band, you know, for a while, and he got his own band. His full name was Curtis Don Blazing. He's born in a small town in western Minnesota on May 3rd, 1956. His father's name was Arnold. Everybody called him Arnie. His mother's name was Noreen. Kurt loved cool cars. In high school, he had this 1965 Pontiac Le Mans. Man, that thing could fly. Kurt loved cool guitars. His first one was an Alvarez copy of a Gibson Dove that he never did sell. In our first band, he played a Strat or a Gibson Explorer with a rock-steady rhythm hand. I could not tell you all that I know. Man, that would take too long. Some of it was so long ago. But suffice to say, I could write a book about my best friend, Curtis. We crawled around in diapers on the first day we met. I could hear us laughing. I can't remember that. But I bet that we were racing because we both loved going fast. And I could recount the time when we were 9, driving skinny wheels down steep hills. We'd stop them with our red ball jets right before those busy streets, going fast. When we were 10, we built plywood guitars. We jumped around to records pretending we were rock stars. I can tell you that when we were in our teens, we sold peace sign patches on our bell-bottom jeans. When we were 14,
We drank grain belt beer, smoked old golds down gravel roads. We found John Prine and reefer at the same time. John blew our minds. We went on and got real guitars. We were growing, going fast. Well, we rolled back into town when we were 22. And my old truck dead broke on gas fumes. We found those two beautiful girls. I was his best man and he was mine. Went out and started our first band. Man, those were good times. Good times. Good times. Going fast. I got the call today, my best friend Curtis. He's in the hospital, going fast. Well, they say that when you die, your whole life passes before your eyes. I can tell you when I got that phone call, my whole life passed before mine. I haven't cried like that in a very long time. Ah, but he ain't gone, no. He ain't gone. He's right here. He's right here in this song. No, he ain't sad. He's doing fine. He's driving down gravel roads, smoking old golds, digging on some John Prine, some Neil Young, some Tom Petty, some Joni Mitchell. It's going fast. Thank you. When I was telling that story, I realized I just switched from my introductory song where I actually brought my kazoo out for, and I played something completely different. So now I'm going to lighten it up a little bit, play the kazoo. And I don't know if you realize this, but you're looking at the best kazoo player in the whole world. I'm actually got the cover of Kazooie magazine here last month, and they're calling me the Coltrane of the kazoo. I didn't put the words into their mouths. I mean, they just, you know. But this particular instrument is made of solid ivory, and it's about $4,000. I went to the Congo and killed the elephant myself to carve the trunk into this, fashioned it into this instrument. And it's like, you know, you could get one, but you if you've been playing a while, you know, you can get a real good one like this. So. Have you heard the rumor going around? It's a scandal that's rocked the town. The waitress got herself a wedding gown. She will be marrying the king. But the waitress in the white dress, before the wedding saw the mistress making whoopee on the mattress in the chamber of the king. The stately king, in a state of undress, went out the window in such a mess, because the waitress and the mistress threw a shadow on the throne. It was totally outrageous. She lost control, it was contagious. I guess the waitress tore the white dress in a tussle with the mistress, threw a glass across the castle lawn. She drove drunk to the lawn and pond. She laid her diamonds down and then she was gone to her mom's in Minneapolis. Look out, look out! Told you. The copper statue's got the tarnished hue. State of the nation on shambles too. But I guess she's still a waitress in a cafe called the Capitol View. And the king's before the Congress. Allegations that he must address. Although his alibi was weak at best. Another victory for the king. Yeah, he's the king. I was talking to a gentleman back there. I can't ever remember anybody's name anymore. But we were talking about how if you're from, I'm farmer, like I have like guitar playing hands, and haven't really had to work a day job in a long, long time. But my wife takes care of horses. We've got 45 of them, and she's we get them through the winter, and the waters freeze up when it gets 20 below. My bobcat won't start. I got a Farmall 400 I had to swap out the starter here, and it was 20 below zero. When you out there putting out hay, your hands, they go numb first, and then there's pain. And once you get through the pain, then they warm up. And I don't think people from Texas really know that. And people who don't do that, it's like, but there's this threshold of pain, and you can get through it, and then hey, I'm fine now. But see, you gotta. So I wrote this song coming back from Texas. I was supposed to be going there last week. I had a tour booked, and my wife made me move it to April because she said, "You're not going to leave me here and when it's 20 below zero. I need you." And I said, "Yeah, all right." But this is one of those times when she called me. I was on the road down 2 weeks, and about that time, I'm a folk singer, so we're not staying in good hotels. We're crashing on people's couches and guest rooms and stuff down there and trying to make it. And in fact, if anybody has a couch to crash on, I will play your living room and I'll stay in your guest room. My wife won't do it. She never goes along. I asked her to go to Europe with me several times. She says no, because she knows my ways. And I want to meet everyone. She doesn't want to meet anybody. But we've been together now for 42 years. Married 39 years. So. So I call her the queen. She's got I saw that this song keeps reliving itself every winter, And when it snows, the horses, they go nuts. They just love it. They just jump around and dance, All the Queen's horses dance wild in the snow. Best plug in the tractor, prepare for the big blow. High winds in 10 inches, says a DJ in town. There's no sense to shovel till it all settles down. Smell the soup from the kitchen, like love in the air. She's in her slippers, she ain't going nowhere. White light from the lamp, blue glow from the screen. She's got a cat in her lap and 2 more by her feet. Wish I was there, back in my chair. I wish I could find myself in mind, I'd be already there. I wish I could see her looking at me in that terry cloth robe and those silky bedclothes that she wears. And I'm in my chair. No, we were down in playing in the honky tonks in Texas, in the Austin area. And it's a place called the Little Longhorn Saloon where they get a live chicken out. And they put numbers on the floor, and if the chicken poops on your number, you win. They call it chicken shit bingo. And I was so excited for that, you know. But the night I was there was this ice storm, which hardly ever happens in Austin. And Texans don't drive in ice, they just don't do it. The roads are stacked up about 4 or 5 high, and if you get on top of those when it's icy, I don't think it'd be very good. Like the Jamaican bobsled or something, you know. But this is the rest of the song. I wrote this all the way back, 24 hours straight, because I had to be back for a nursing home job. And I made it with 3 one-hour naps. When it sleets here in Austin, everything shuts down. Those flyways are frosted, and there's no one around. My tip jar was empty, my guitar string broke. It was dead at the Longhorn, slow at the spoke. Now down here in Texas, I've had a pretty good run. But after 2 weeks of couch surfing, it ain't too much fun. Now it's 2 days headed north, windshield tied, with my wheels crossed at Minnesota state line. I'll be there, back in my chair. I wish I could find that place in my mind, I'd be already there. I wish I could see her looking at me in that terry cloth robe and those silky bedclothes that she wears when I'm in my chair. Is anybody watching the clock? I don't know. I've been up here for a while, but you know, we'll play a few more. Is that okay?
Yeah. I'm having so much fun, you guys. It's like I got a new band called the Pocket Gophers. And we just threw it together because Leon and I, my friend Leon, I've always liked the way he wrote songs. We always had our own bands in St. Cloud, you know, and we kind of like, anyway, we started my residency is in Sauk Rapids every Wednesday night. And we make $100 each and they feed us. And then we decided we wanted a rhythm section, so now we're making $50 each. But it's not, we're putting this really cool band together, you know, and it's Tommy V, his dad is Bobby V, and his son, Bennett, who's only 20 years old, and this kid, I mean, he's so intuitive as a drummer. He reads my body language. And I've been my own drummer for 15 years. Last time I was here, I set up a stomp box. It's not the same. I finally quit doing that. Anyway, if you're ever in Sauk Rapids, you want to make a road trip, come on up and see the Pocket Gophers. I'm going to do a friend of mine's song. This is one about Canby, Minnesota. I grew up in Madison on the South Dakota border, and he grew up in Canby. And then he's on his deathbed. He's in hospice right now for Lou Gehrig's disease or ALS. And this happened to him. And when he was getting really, really good on the guitar, he finally decided to get serious about his guitar playing. And then he said, man, I can't make the chords. And then he found out, you know. This is Jerry's signature song. And I always loved this song, and because Jerry can't be here to play it for you, I'm going to do it. It's legacy. So it's about a little farm town, and if you grew up in that part of the state, there's a lot of rundown little towns out there, including Canby and Madison. Walking down the street in my little town, all those old buildings, they're just a little rundown. Hotels and railroads, they're mostly gone to dust. I wonder, is it true what they say about the rest of us? All of my people, they're outside of town, underneath those Norway pines, in my grave ground. I go out there sometimes, and I read their names. I wonder, did they look like me? Did they feel the same about my little town? My little town. I guess I didn't fall too far from the nest to that white spot in the King Trails, little bit east of West. That's my town, my little town. I sure miss that feeling, riding down Mrs. Myers Hill. Sure miss that feeling, sliding down Mrs. Myers Hill. She didn't like it all that much, but that was part of the thrill. My mama didn't like it either. In fact, the word she used was no.
I got the scars to prove I once flew all those years ago. Across from my great-grandpa's house upon St. Olaf Street, there's a little Norwegian Lutheran church, that vesper bell so sweet. You could feel that ancient rhythm the day they would atone and let every wayward child know it was time to go back home in my town, my little town. I guess I didn't fall too far from the nest in that white spot in the King of Trails, a little bit east of west. That's my town, my little town. Yeah, that's my little town. Thanks. I only got about 10 more minutes. Is that okay? Are you guys still okay? And I'll let you go. But please line up single file at the merch. We don't want the table to get rushed, you know. Poor Rick, you know, he's got to keep up. Anyway, thanks so much to have me tonight. I mean, I can't tell you how much This is the third time I've played here, and I believe this is the best one. You know, I was nervous before. I'm not nervous now at all. But I want to play, to prove it, I want to play a brand new song that I just wrote. I was telling my new friend back there about it and say, I co-wrote it with a young guy. He called me up and said, hey, I'm writing songs now, and I write every day at Tuesday in the morning. You want to come over and write one? I said, sure, yeah, let's try it. When you're a songwriter, sometimes you write little things on scraps of paper, and you know you get, you know, you don't have time to finish it, but you know that's a good idea or that's a good line, and you throw it in a folder. I'll get to that later, and you never do. And the line was, every pull of the bottle, every pill I'd take, led me further away from grace. And it was a line that Grace would be a woman, you know, that he screwed it up because he's you know, typical Americana, you know, stuff. And so that's how we started. You know, we started the song with that line, and now it's called "Hey Angel, Please Pick Up Your Phone." Anyway, in his country, an angel was sent to me one night. She fell from heaven into my life. For a long time we lived high on a cloud of liquor and love we'd make. But every pull of the bottle, each pill I'd take, drove me further away from grace. She left me stranded in this broken place, and she flew off to God knows where. With my angel I was walking in a line, right between heaven and amazing grace. Now I'm drifting through a cold dark night, I gotta find her, tell her face to face. Hey, angel, please pick up your phone. I ain't been doing too well here on my own. I've been sober since I noticed you were gone. Please, please disregard my last message. Well, my angel, I was walking in the light, right between heaven and amazing grace. Now I'm drifting through a cold, dark night. I gotta find her, tell her face to face. Hey, angel, please pick up your phone. I ain't been doing too well here on my own. I've been sober since I noticed you were gone. Please, please disregard my last message. Hey, angel, please pick up your phone. Hey, angel, please pick up your phone.
I think I could pitch that in Nashville. Here's one I'm having so much fun. I mean, you guys probably want to go. But I want to play two more. Is that all right? Two more. That's it. And I'm cutting myself off. But I wrote this one because my friend went through a divorce, and it became one of my most covered songs. You know, the woman that he got divorced from recorded it, and I recorded it with her new boyfriend, and this other woman recorded it, and my friend who got divorced was a guitar player on that recording. And so this came from real pain that I did not experience. I was front and center for it. You know, I don't think when you're going through a divorce or something, you're not capable of writing a song. But me, as a bystander, I just channeled his pain and put it into the song. And I always wanted Alan Jackson to record it, or George Strait. Those are two of my favorite country singers that actually sell records, and I would make a lot of money. So, but alas.
Well, I know what it's like to share your soul. I was flying heaven-bound with you. Now I'm cramped and cold, stuck inside, and I almost died when you said you were through with me. But you won't talk about love. You won't talk about love. Talk about love anymore. Well, I know stinging ears can't tend to hear, crying eyes can't analyze truth. But if there was some way you could rise above, recall the past as part of me and you. But you won't talk about love. You won't talk about love. You won't talk about love anymore. I know he hurt you, this broken child I had. Came from deep inside of me. It tore me up to watch him hurt your pride. And you picked up the pieces of your heart, and you left us here to slowly fall apart. I don't know how I can show you that I could be the man you knew before. Talk till I'm blue. Tried to talk about me and you, but you won't even hear it anymore. 'Cause you won't talk about love. You won't talk about love. You won't talk about love anymore. Thanks so much for coming out. This is tell you about this guitar. I got it down in Austin, Texas, when I couldn't afford a guitar this expensive. It's a now lists for about $4,000, but at the time it was about $36.50, I think. And I was down there with my favorite little $700 flight guitar that I get on airplanes, but it won't stay in tune very well. But I love the neck on it. And played a show down there because I had recorded this guy's song. And I'm going to play you the song that got me this guitar. And it's on this last CD called I'm the Smile. And it's got Bill Kirchen and Red Volkart, the masters of the Telecasters on it. And once again, they couldn't make it tonight. So you have to put up with my guitar playing. And this is a Collings guitar, and it's like a gift from God. I took my baby to the mountains just to watch the sun go down, go down. I took my baby to the mountains just to watch the sun go down. How my heart got stolen by the pretty little lights of town. She said, "Oh, honey, don't sparkle like the bubbles in a glass of beer." She said, "Oh, honey, don't sparkle like the bubbles in a glass of beer." Oh, I gotta get her closer, look, I can't get from here. But now the pretty little lights of town turn my baby's head around. Pretty little lights of town turn my baby's head around. She gonna buddies on when she leaves. that old back road down by the old sawmill. Well, she got a that a big HD and drove her right off that hill. Well, I gotta get her back, buddy, swear to you that I will. When I'm pretty little lights of town, they turn my baby's head around. Pretty little lights of town, turn my baby's head around. She gonna buddy haze on ways, baby. What you gonna buddy haze on ways, she'll be bound. What you gonna buddy haze on ways, she'll be bound. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, John, Rick. Thank you so much. If you want to appreciate that.